All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS Showdown video. Going to be touching on the Sunday night football game between the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. Now, this one could be ugly, okay? It's going to be interesting. So 15-point spread currently, and the game over and under is set at 43.8 on average, okay? Like, we have to worry about the weather being bad as well. That's one that I don't even want to like touch on right now. Let's start with the New York Giants, their current injuries. It's got a long list of injuries for them. I don't even know where to start because they have so many. We'll just go top down from DraftKings what they have. All right, so looking at, we got Saquon Barkley is going to be currently questionable, and kind of given the fact that Daniel Jones is going to be out in this game already, I would kind of assume that he's going to be out, which we need to note that Gary Brightwell, who's typically, I said he was their best running back, he is currently questionable. All right, he was a limited participant, at least on Friday. So let's just say those two both sit. Then we're looking at Matt Breida, underwhelming. And then we're also looking at Eric Gray. Now, Eric Gray is probably going to be everyone's favorite play because although he has fumbled the last 2 weeks, he actually looked like he had some wiggle, I guess I would say, last week against Miami. Now, the stats are not going to say that, but he did have some good plays. And a lot of people are going to be excited about like DeMarcado, the Arizona rookie. I would say Eric Gray was kind of the same type, but kind of looks slightly better. We can see his snaps, 44%. And so I would kind of expect that to be more of a 50-50 split if we get news that Brightwell is not active in that game. Now, if Brightwell plays, I personally think he has looked better than Breida. And in a game with Daniel Jones out, maybe you just try to grind it out. And I would say that would be my route, is give Brightwell the carries, try to get 3 yards, and hopefully you can have long sustained drives. It's kind of it. While we're here, let's just take a peek at the other snap counts. Wendell Robinson did get 66% of the snaps, was the second highest snap share getter besides Darius Slayton. Obviously Daniel Jones left, we saw Tyrod Taylor. There's just a lot of injury news to get. So I will say, value-wise, Gray is probably going to be one of the better ones that we're going to get on the slate, especially if the game does blow out, because then he should be the player that's getting work anyways. And like I said, the stats might not say it, but he did have a little bit of pop, I guess is the best way to phrase it. Like, it didn't seem like a complete lost cause like Breida has. Breida's look fine, don't get me wrong, but like nothing exciting there. Now we also know that Darren Waller is currently questionable as well. He is logged back-to-back limited practices, so it seems like he's going to go. Obviously, if he sits, we are looking at someone like Daniel Bellinger to get a ton of work. And so if we get news that Waller might be limited or he's not going to play, Bellinger would be an easy value play. And I'll bring up the snaps again here, guys. He might be anyways, because we could see him playing about 40% of the snaps regardless. It's ugly for the Giants. All right, so Tyrod Taylor, do you want to play? Probably not against Buffalo. Like, this game probably will be ugly. Isaiah Hodgins, I still don't get why he's the highest priced receiver for the Giants. We went over this on their last Showdown slate where I was begging everyone to play Wendell Robinson. That ended up being pretty clutch. Now he has since become popular to people. Okay, I wasn't begging people to play Wendell Robinson. It was Ronnie Bell, and then I also said you could play Wendell Robinson as well. If we get news that he's active, you can play him. That's what I said. But he's been solid. They've been finding ways to give him the football. Now, I wish he was getting a little bit more air yards, but really that's kind of what they have to resort to if Saquon Barkley is going to be out. So we are still getting him at a pretty good price tag, and so I might as well just go with Robinson at that cheap price tag. Like, it's just the correct move. Darius Slayton, will Tyrod Taylor try a couple of deep balls down the field? I don't know. Maybe. He might have to. Just toss him up. Slayton would be the guy that we'd want to be on then. It's tough here, guys. Like, I would say Jalen Hyatt's worth a look at his price tag. Maybe he catches a deep ball, but really I think we want to be going like a 4-2 split with Buffalo. And even if Waller's active, I don't want to play him. If Saquon's active, maybe we can look at him. Like, I don't see why they would risk playing him if he's banged up, especially in this game with Daniel Jones out. It's not like Tyrod Taylor can do much worse than Jones, so I don't want to suggest that was a big needle mover, but I just expect this game to be ugly. And literally, I think these would just be the two plays. Cheap price tags, we're good to go. Let's move on into Buffalo. A little bit simpler approach. With Buffalo, we know the players we want to be on. Josh Allen, easy enough to fit him into our builds. Should be able to give us 20 DraftKings points. Even if he has a dud for 13, I still think he could be in the winning lineup. So the question becomes, who should be the captain's pick? It's kind of like the Thursday night football game. It's like, all right, we know we want to be on Mahomes or Kelsey in the captain spot. Which one do we want to be on? And while I bring up that Thursday night football game, my brother nearly took down a Showdown. If Watson catches his drop pass, he probably ties with a bunch of other people with that, but that felt like a bad beat. I felt bad for him there. So close. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of the good advice in the video as well last week. But yeah, it literally feels like it's coming down to that. Diggs or Allen. captain spot. Feel like it's a little bit different this slate because we know Josh Allen can score rushing touchdowns and we know he's a little bit more prone to rushing the football. So I think I might default to Josh Allen in the captain spot. Then we're good. We go Diggs. Then this is where I find it kind of interesting for the Bills. So we got James Cook. Cook is clearly the RB1 here when we look at his snap share. Like, don't get me wrong, like we know that. But Murray has been mixing in, so has Damian Harris. But if it's going to be a game in which they're playing with the lead, I think we could kind of see all three of those players be worth looking at in some capacity, especially GPP-wise. And so, we do start with James Cook, maybe to establish the lead with him. That's why he's that high priced. But it wouldn't be shocking to see Murray or Harris have a good game. Murray's done his part. Besides last week, Harris has kind of done his part as well. Like, it wouldn't be shocking to see Harris fall into the end zone. It wouldn't be shocking to see Murray fall into the end zone. Those were definitely in the realm of possibilities, especially in a game that's supposed to be a blowout. I kind of almost want to just go with Harris just because the game is supposed to be a blowout. Now, we do need to touch on the tight end situation here as well. Dalton Kincaid, currently questionable. I expect Kincaid to be out with a concussion. So Knox, I kind of expect to be active in this game. And so we just take away those snaps from Kincaid. I do imagine those are basically all going to go to Dawson Knox. Now, I say basically, I wouldn't be shocking to see another tight end get work. Like, who would it be? It'd be Quinton Morris probably. That wouldn't be shocking, but we're not looking at him for DFS purposes. So Knox at that price tag does open up a lot, especially if you're going Josh Allen, Diggs. Like, you can easily fit him into your builds. A lot of people are going to want to go Bills defense as well. You could do that. And look at this, guys. We are just going to have a lot of salary left over regardless of which build we come up with, it seems like. People are going to ask about Gabe Davis. Eventually he's going to have a bad game. I don't know. It's just like he's had 4 straight games of touchdowns. We kind of know, besides last week, he is basically a touchdown or bust type of player. And given the game flow of this game, projected game flow of this game being a blowout, I don't really want to bank on him as a play. Now, if this game was projected to stay closer, I would say Deontay Hardy would definitely be an interesting play. He's looked good. He's gotten a decent amount of work. Like, sure, if you like your build, I don't see how you would end up with $600 left over, but you could. Maybe Barkley's active. Maybe you're paying up for Tyrod Taylor. It's in the realm of possibilities. You could end up on there. Maybe Waller. I don't know. Then you could end up on Hardy. Like, if this was a normal slate where it was projected to be a fun, close game, then Hardy would firmly be in play. He'd be a solid value. So would kind of Shakira, who's been playing about 30% of the snaps. I wouldn't say solid value, but worth a look. But because of the nature of the slate, I don't think it is. And so, like, do we need to play Knox at that price tag? Probably not. Do we need to play Bills D? Maybe. And like, it is such an ugly slate. Like, I don't know. Do we even need to go Robinson if the game's going to be a blowout? Tough to say. Heck, could you get away with Bills D in the captain spot? Maybe. Does James Cook finally have an awesome game going against the Giants? Maybe. I mean, like, I would say this would be kind of a unique build. James Cook captain spot. We go Diggs still. Let's see where we can drop down. Bills D, I guess. 5K left over. Could go Bass. Could go Gano. Could go Knox still. Like, we're going to have salary left over kind of regardless of what we do. And I'm actually curious, what type of build can I make with the Bills in the captain spot? Ooh, that's a close one. I thought that would work. Nah, we could go down from Robinson to Dawson Knox. Fine with that build as well. It's an ugly slate, right? And just for fun, I'm running the lineup optimizer to see what it sees as the optimal lineup. Interesting. So Josh Allen captain spot, Hardy, the value play, makes sense. And we're going Gabe Davis, Diggs, Bass, Robinson. That kind of checks out. I would say maybe Bills D instead. You could slot in there instead of Tyler Bass. Interesting slate, needless to say. I probably won't be playing too. That's going to be all for this video. If you guys want access to the NFL DFS lineup optimizer, it is available at 95 Sports for just $10 a month. Included in there is all the props content, all the fantasy golf tools, I should say. Links to that's in the description below, 95sports.com. That's going to be all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.